What is up, my dudes, and the one girl who just wants a little more bass in her boots and pets and boots and pets and boots and pets? This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I'm just here, man. I'm just here. You shut the lights off, I'm probably still here. Yeah, we gotta update this soon too. I've got a ton of stickers from over the winter, all collected up. I will do a sticker wall 3 because a lot of great motovloggers I do want to showcase. I've done it on Instagram, but it's always cool to do that little video and just give that extra love. But today, what we are doing is upgrading our speakers on the Road Glide. The Road Glide that is the Death Eater Betty Page. There she is. So before I went on my trip, my speakers were starting to give out. I've had them for close to 2 years now. I beat the living crap out of them. So, 2 years is not a bad thing. They are the Rockford Fosgate TMS65. So they're a 6.5 inch speaker. I've got a Rockford Fosgate amp in my fairing as well. And I also have Dynamat to all around the fairing to help with the sound. So we're actually stepping away from Rockford Fosgate. And I'll show you why. I'm actually going to Hertz. I am trying out the Hertz 6.5 inch speakers. After a lot of research, I came to the conclusion that they're probably going to be the better option for me, mainly because they are a louder speaker, at least from what I've been reading. The TMS65, the Rockford Fosgate, comes with what I've come to find and come to learn, one of the smallest voice coils for speakers that are used in Harley fairings and all that stuff. So even though they're way better than a Harley speaker, but let's be honest, you could probably fart audibly louder on your bike than a Harley speaker, being able to hear one of those. So we're not saying too much here, but the Rockfords were a huge improvement over the Harley speakers, and I really have nothing bad to say about them. They served their purpose, they did great things, and they kept me entertained for the 2 or so years that I did have them. We will talk about Rockfords a little bit later on because there are some interesting facts for you guys who are looking at them that you should probably know. But before that, we're going to jump into replacing these speakers. Is this going to be a very well detailed, well thought out sort of replacement video? No, I suck at those. In fact, I'm going to link the speaker install from last time in the Dynamat, so you can check that out and see it if you'd like. But honestly, I'm not really good at the whole here's me doing stuff. So we're gonna kind of replace them. I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna go for a ride, and let's see if it sounds better and it lives up to the expectations that I have placed upon these Hertz speakers.
So just a few things to note if you are doing these yourself. Like I said, very easy install, swap, all that. These grills pop right off. The inside has 2 little pegs, and then the outside has that little tongue and groove sort of thing. So you want to get something soft plastic and lift from this side. That way you're not scratching up your fairing. Then from there, you just have your screws. I don't know the size because, again, this really isn't something I specialize in. So just go through your toolkit until those fit, and you can remove them. And I'm going to remove them now. Okay, because I do care, I decided to share with you. This is a T25 Torx bit that you're using to remove these. I will say that when you do remove them, and even when you install them again, you want to be careful. You are screwing into plastic. It is very easy to strip this out, and then you're gonna kind of have a bad day. So, just when you're putting the speakers back in, make sure that the screws are they're snug. Don't go all Incredible Hulk on them because you're going to mess things up. And same thing when you're removing them, like, don't rush it. Just, like right now, I loosened them with my socket, and now I'm just using like hand pressure to remove them. That way I'm not stripping anything and everything's good for the next speaker. So here's the back of the speaker. There's no big surprises here. It's just 2 plugs. It's nice and easy. And again, like these TPS65s, they are pretty damn good speakers. These have taken a beating. I honestly don't know how the Hertz are going to react or how well they'll work in the long term. So, I mean, for the time that I've had these, they were really good speakers, and I don't blame Rockford for these like blowing out. I have beat the crap out of them. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these. Well, you know what? Let's compare these to the Hertz before I put the Hertz in, and then let's get the install done.
So before we go too much further, I do want to put this out there real quick as well. I am not affiliated with Rockford Fosgate or Hertz speakers or any other speaker company currently as it stands in this video. I mean, if you want me to, reach it, call me. If I like your product, I'll be happy to support you. But for the time being, I'm not affiliated with any, and both sets of speakers here were both bought on my dime. No discounts, no promises, no anything like that. This is a 100% honest review where nothing's being promised to me, nothing was given to me. This is me doing my research and buying the speakers that I thought were the best for what I was looking for at the time.
So I know I misspoke a bit and called the Rockford Fosgates TPS65, but they are TMS65. I thought this would be a good comparison before I put the speakers in. On the left, we have the Rockford Fosgate TMS65 speakers, which are 6.5-inch speakers. And on the right, we have the SPL Show SX165 Neos from Hertz. And as you can see, coil in the middle, much bigger. And, we've got that, whatever that thing is. You can tell I've done a lot of research before actually installing these. I do know the name of this. I did check it all out before I bought them. It's just escaping me right now. Both of these speakers are waterproof. Both of these speakers are rated to be inside a motorcycle fairing. So none of that, it's not like this is gonna fry out or anything. These are actually designed to be in the bike. Magnet in the back feels a little bit bigger and thicker on this one than this one. And honestly, again, this is still so much better than the Harley ones, which are basically like the magnet's like the size of a dime. It's horrible. Price-wise, honestly, these are about $40 more expensive than these. That is really the only thing separating the two. They are both 4 ohm speakers, so you want to make sure you have a 4 ohm amp or a stereo that's going to be able to handle 4 ohm speakers. There is a difference between 2 and 4, so make sure you do that. Although most 4 ohm amps and speaker like headstocks, the newer ones can handle 2 ohm, so you can go that route. I don't always recommend it though. I mean, you talk to anyone who does sound and speakers, they're going to tell you to try and match everything accordingly. So let's go ahead and get these in the bike. All right, so the speakers are in, literally like a 10-minute job at best. You just want to make sure your speaker cables are snug. And again, these screws are going into a plastic speaker pod. I cannot stress it enough. Do not use power tools. Do not try and torque it down. Just make sure it's snug, because those will strip out. It will ruin your day when you have to replace the speaker pods. Just don't do it.
So the reason why I'm going with these speakers as opposed to something bigger and louder is quite simple. I want drop-in speakers. I don't want to do modifications to my speaker pods. I don't want to cut pieces and all that stuff. There are obviously louder and bigger speakers out there. I could definitely go to competition size if I want. I don't need that. I need something that I can listen to bombing down the road and just keeping myself amused and all that stuff, and maybe annoying people at red lights. That's what I do. So I didn't choose any of the bigger ones where you actually have to cut out pieces of the speaker pod, where you have to like redo the ring, where you have to fiberglass. There's all kinds of stuff, and you can really go to some crazy sizes. I just decided against it. Both the Rockford Fosgates and these Hertz are both drop-in ready, so there's nothing you have to do. The screw holes are already lined up. They use the stock screws. Everything's good to go. And that's why I choose them. And I would do a sound test in the garage, but let's be honest, anything's gonna sound loud in the garage. I can't give you a before and after because, like I said, my Rockfords are kind of on the end, but I did link out a video earlier. You could check that one out. I did do an in the garage before and after with the Rockfords and the Harley speakers, so you're welcome to check that out. What we're gonna do now is actually get on the road and listen to these there, where it's actually important, because that's where you're going to be listening to your sound anyway. So I'll catch up with you then.
All right, so we are on the bike. I'm gonna test the sound a few different times. I'm going to use the band Mickey Rickshaw because they're a local band, so that's the way we roll. Really, I want to stress before I do this that sound, like anything else, is subjective. So the way I feel about the sound, the way I think it sounds, that's my opinion, and I'm sharing that with you. I'm telling you this, so when I say, hey, this is what I'm getting, this is how I feel about it and all that, if you decide to go out and buy these same speakers and you have the same setup, and then you're like, well, I didn't get your results, keep in mind, different music, different settings on the stereo, different opinions. There's a lot of different elements in there, so I'm just trying to be as upfront and honest with you as humanly possible. So let's talk about my stereo setup first, because I feel like that's also going to be very important. I am using the Sony AX7000 as my headstock. I am using a 300 watt Rockford Fosgate Punch marine grade amp. And then I am using our two new Hertz speakers that are in there. So that's my setup in a nutshell. My phone is plugged in. I have a Google Pixel 6 Pro. I'm running Google Music for my sound. So we're gonna do this in small samples because I'm also trying not to get copyright struck. Although I have used Mickey Rickshaw before, you should definitely check them out. They are a damn good band. I'll definitely link them below like I have in the past. And you know, let's see if you can hear this through my helmet and get an idea of what the volume is. I'll also try and bounce over to the highway real quick and see if we can get some real highway speeds. So first and foremost, let's do it just on this back road here doing 40. And before this kicks off, I also want to say my Rockfords, I usually have been running them at number 40 on my volume settings. I'm currently at 30 on this. Let's go to 35. Let's go to 40. So I can tell you right out of the gate, it's bright and it's clear. Upfront and honest, I've actually had these speakers going for a few days now, and I've used them a few different ways. I've been in a half shell, I've been in my full helmet. When I was in my half shell, honestly, when I was at 30, I found myself turning it down because, I mean, it is bright and clear and it just like drills into your ear holes. Not the case with the Rockfords. Like I said, I usually ran those at like 40, and yeah, they were loud and they would start to distort around there as well. But yeah, these Hertz sound so much better. All right, let's go with the 50 and see how it sounds. If I don't catch up to these cars in front of me first. This is 30 at 50. Before I rear end anyone. Still bright and clear. Let's see if we can find a spot where we can get a little bit faster. While we look to go somewhere a little bit faster, if these cars ever hurry up, that is, I will say that I did have these on the highway. I was over in the town of none of your business doing 80 or 90. I think it was 80, 85 was the max I was doing. Because over in the town of none of your business, that's where that's what the speed limit is. So you should definitely check out none of your business and see for yourself where you can go 80 legally. And yeah, I mean, having the volume at 30, not so much. Like, you could hear it, but not well. At 40, you could definitely hear it. So it was good. I will also say that my stereo does not max at 40. It goes, I want to say it's between 50 and 60 is the max for it. So I mean, I am past the halfway point, but I'm not all the way up. I'm sure if I went to the max, I'd probably blow the speakers, realistically speaking. So I don't want to try that out. As long as I can hear it and, you know, it's loud and I can jam when I'm on the highway or on a road or something like that and having a good time, I'm all in. That's really all I need. Although I did have a little bit of good news just come my way. I don't want to share it just yet because I don't want to jinx it. But I think it might lead me to popping some speakers in my bags too, just for that extra sounding like an asshole sort of vibe when I'm driving around. Because I mean, you know, 6x9s, you'll get a little more bass out of the deal. I'm okay with that. All right, I'll catch up with you when I can go a little faster. All right, let's get it up to speed before I catch up with that traffic and see what we got. We're at 40. And this is 70. Piece of shit. Leave it to some guy with a 70s porn mustache to pull out in front of a bike. We're at 60 right now. All right. Still gotta not get copyright struck. But yeah, so you could hear it quite crisp, quite clear, even at 70. At least I hope you could hear it. You know, you're trying to pick up on a mic that's designed to kind of be insulated from all the wind noise and stuff on the outside of the helmet. It's a full face. So if you're hearing that, you know, take that into consideration as well. That these are speakers on my fairing that are battling 70-mile-an-hour winds and a full face helmet that is fully closed up, vents included, going into a mic that has a windsock on it. Honestly, I think they sound great. I am really, really impressed. And again, these were just $40 more than the Rockford Fosgates. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I actually recorded this video before, but I forgot to put the little mic adapter on. I just plugged directly into my GoPro from my mic, which is a dumb idea because you get no sound. But even if you don't go with these speakers, make sure you match up the ohm settings. These are 4 ohm speakers. It's a 4 ohm amp. Now, I actually went out and checked out the Harley branded Rockford Fosgate speakers. And the sales guy at the Harley dealership told me that he spoke with Rockford Fosgate and they straight up told him not to use Harley branded Rockford products with unbranded Rockford products because they don't mix and match well.
One of the things I did see there was the Rockfords that the Harley branded Rockfords are 2 ohm. They use a 2 ohm amp, they use 2 ohm speakers. So I could see that as being a problem. Honestly, I think the other thing is, I don't think you're getting Rockford's best when you're getting the Harley stuff. Because when you look at the Harley 6.5 inch drop-in speakers, I think they're like, I want to say they're stage 2. The ones that have like the separate mid and high and all that stuff. You get the nice fancy plates that you could put on your bike's fairing to let everyone know you have Harley Rockford stuff. That version of the Harley Rockford speakers is actually cheaper to purchase than the TMS65s that I had in here originally. So they are actually rated, the Harley branded ones are rated with more wattage, and they're supposed to be better and a higher quality, but they're cheaper than the TMS. That's a lot of red flags, and that's actually why I went up to Harley to check them out firsthand, because I want to know why they were cheaper than the ones that I had. That's when I talked to the sales guy, and the sales guy was like, I talked to Rockford, don't do it. So that actually kind of helped me make up my mind to try a different speaker, and that's how I ended up with Hertz. So that's about it, guys. I hope I've provided some helpful information for you. You know, just kind of making it so this isn't the most goofy and pointless channel on YouTube. So anyway, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dork you know who has stock Harley speakers and he's like, these things sound so great, I never need an upgrade. He loves this stuff, trust me. And I'll see you all on the flip side.